Okay, let's dive into this explainer. Welcome back, everyone. To all of you focused learners out there, thank you so much for joining me. So if you've ever found yourself just staring at a blank screen, right? Or maybe avoiding a massive project by suddenly deciding that scrubbing your baseboards is an absolute life or death priority. Yeah, we've all been there. It's the classic procrastination trap. Today, we're unpacking some fascinating source material that targets this exact frustrating hurdle. We'll look at the deep psychological reasons why we delay, and, more importantly, how a ridiculously simple strategy known as the 5-minute rule can completely rewire how we get things done. Get ready, because this is going to be a real game changer for your to-do list.
Section 1. The Thief of Potential.
So we have to start by urgently confronting the core problem here. It's incredibly easy to just brush off procrastination as a harmless quirk or maybe tell ourselves, oh, I'm just a little tired today. But the source material frames this in a much more serious light. Listen to this quote. Procrastination is the thief of your potential. Wow, just let the dramatic weight of that sink in for a second. It doesn't say it's the thief of your afternoon or your weekend to-do list. It literally steals your potential. Every single time we push a meaningful task to tomorrow, we're robbing ourselves of the person we could become, the skills we could master, the goals we could crush. We constantly tell ourselves, well, I'll start when I have more energy, or I'll do it when the conditions are totally flawless. But waiting for that perfect moment, it's a complete illusion. It's never going to arrive. And while we sit around waiting for the stars to align, our potential is quietly, tragically being stolen away.
Section 2. The Perfection Trap.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why we let this thief in the front door time and time again. Society loves to tell us that procrastination equals laziness, but the source material reveals that it's actually not laziness at all. It's something we can all deeply empathize with, the sheer fear of not being perfect. We're constantly at this crossroads, waiting for the perfect moment versus just aiming to get started. We build these tasks up in our minds to such towering, impossible heights that simply starting feels terrifying. The psychological paralysis just sets in. We think, if I can't write this beautifully right now, why even bother? It's a shield to protect our ego from failing. But here is the reality check from the source. Perfection is a trap. It keeps you completely frozen in place. The liberating alternative? Aiming for started. Getting out of the gate is the only metric of success that actually matters when you're stuck. By shifting your goal to just getting started, you short-circuit that fear response. You give yourself permission to be messy, to be human, and most importantly, to just get moving.
Section 3. The 5-minute rule.
Now, what's really interesting about this concept is how we practically break out of that trap. We need a weapon, right? Something incredibly low friction. And that brings us to the ultimate solution, the 5-minute rule. The sheer smallness of the number 5 is the absolute secret here. You simply negotiate with yourself and say, I'm going to work on this dreaded task for just 5 minutes. That is it. You aren't committing to finishing the whole project or writing a whole chapter. It's a micro-commitment. But why 5 minutes? Well, the psychology is fascinating. 5 minutes is small enough that it flies completely under the radar of your brain's threat detection system, the amygdala. When you think about a massive project, your brain triggers a stress response, fight, flight, or freeze. And most of us freeze. But 5 minutes? Hey, anyone can do absolutely anything for just 5 minutes. It lowers the barrier to entry so much that your brain doesn't even have the chance to panic. The friction simply disappears.
So the crucial point is how this tiny commitment rapidly snowballs into massive action. Let's break down the mechanics. Step 1. You commit to working for just 5 minutes. Set a timer, sit down. But here is where the absolute magic happens in Step 2. Usually once you start, the momentum carries you through. It's like Newton's first law of motion, but for productivity. An object in motion stays in motion. Getting started is always the heaviest part. You've probably done this without even realizing it. You tell yourself, okay, I'll just draft the first sentence of this awful email. Next thing you know, an hour has passed, the email is sent, and your inbox is halfway clear. By minute 6, the initial anxiety entirely dissipates because honestly, the dread of not doing the task is usually way worse than the task itself. The momentum just takes over, which leads to Step 3. Don't aim for perfect, aim for started. That is your ultimate mantra whenever you feel that resistance building up. Just start the timer.
Section 4. The Mindset Reset. Let's move on and see how this builds into the bigger picture. Because overcoming procrastination isn't just some superficial life hack. It's a foundational piece of a much larger journey toward mental clarity. As the text reveals, this lesson is actually day 4 of a comprehensive 7-day mindset reset. Overcoming the perfection trap is just one step in fundamentally resetting how we operate. And there's a really clear call to action here. If you are truly ready to stop delaying your dreams, it's time to commit. It urges you to subscribe, join the community, and stay tuned for day 5. It brings up such a great point about human nature. We aren't meant to break deeply ingrained habits in total isolation. Surrounding yourself with other focused learners gives you accountability, shared momentum, and a structured path forward. It's a powerful reminder that you absolutely don't have to tackle this alone. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a direct challenge drawn straight from the heart of our source material. We know procrastination steals our potential. We know perfection is a trap. And we now know that 5 simple minutes is all it takes to bypass our brain's alarm system and build unstoppable momentum. So I have to ask you, will you stop delaying your dreams for just 5 minutes today? Think of that one task. Yep, you know the exact one I'm talking about. The one weighing heavily on the back of your mind all week. Don't worry about finishing it perfectly. Don't worry about the final outcome. Just start. Give it 5 focused minutes today and just see where the incredible power of momentum takes you. Thank you so much for learning with me today. Stay focused, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.